Well, I just want to thank you all for coming. What a great turnout today. Really appreciate it. Now, for the first hour, I'm going to talk a little bit about the early years. No, we'll try to keep this moving along. Those of you who don't know, my name's Rich Hannikin. I'm President and Chief Executive Officer of MRV Banks. I'm going to introduce some of our team members. Those of you that are shareholders, these are your team members. These are the folks that work very hard, very diligently on putting this thing together. Sarah? This is Sarah Lally. Sarah works with us. She's she's our teller, our main teller, and then just every little other odd job that comes up. Sarah seems to be the one that dives in and gets the job done. Clara Burr, where you at, Clara?
Right here.
There's Clara. Some of you know Clara. She's a veteran in banking here in town. She works as a new account rep with us, and we all kind of pitch in on a little bit of everything. Karen O'Loughlin. Karen actually kind of followed me down from Premier Bank. She's our board secretary. She's my assistant. She's our loan administration officer. Karen's a workaholic, as a matter of fact. Pam Palmer. Pam's our banking center manager. And again, a lot of you recognize Pam for being a veteran in banking here in St. Genevieve, and we're very lucky to get Pam as our banking center manager. Terry Hahn is our senior lender. Terry, and we still haven't figured out why he wanted to do this, but he was a senior lender at a new bank over near Table Rock Lake. And he decided he wanted to come back to where his roots were and became our senior lender. We're very grateful he made that decision. And then the member that's been on this team the longest is Steve App. Steve's our Chief Financial Officer, again, a veteran of banking in St. Genevieve. And Steve's actually been with this project darn near from the beginning. And we're very glad to have him. Now I'd like to introduce my board of directors. Bob Bartles. Bob, a lot of you know from agriculture and was affiliated with a bank down in St. Mary's. Bernie Bowman Contracting. Barb Dunning couldn't make it here today. The heat was a little bit too much, so she decided she better stay away today. Ernie Gibson. Ernie's with Lee Mechanical in Farmington. Rick Grifford. Rick's a St. Genevieve native, but he has Saxony Securities up in St. Louis. Marion Kurtz. Marion is with M&M Kurtz Farms, and a lot of you know Marion from a lot of his community activities, and one of the biggest farmers in the county, right, Marion, all the way around. Robert Wolf. Robert with Farmers Insurance, and we're real glad to have Robert on the team. Now I want to introduce our chairman of the board, and he's going to kind of introduce some of the politicians out here. Now, one thing I need to mention, Gary Romine. Many of you know Gary is the owner of Show Me Rent to Own throughout southeast Missouri. And Gary's working very hard, very diligently to learn about banking. But he's got a way to go. In fact, since most of the Show Me Rental loans are in rural areas, and that's where he's really kind of familiar with. We were having a discussion one day on some of the plans for the bank growth, and I was saying, Gary, you just don't know how these things are going to go. We start hitting the right bankers in the right markets. You don't know where we're going to go someday. I said, you never know. It might even be Fortune 500. Gary looked at me and said, now, Rich, there's no way this bank's ever going to sponsor a NASCAR race. Gary Roman, our chairman.
I guess that's a good way to get started. Thanks, Rich. On behalf of the board of directors, I want to thank everyone, particularly the stockholders that invested in this 2 years running now. This is a project that if we would have thought that 2 years ago it would take that long, we might have rethought that process. But through the diligence and the encouragement of the commissioner, one of the compliments the commissioner gave us was that with over 270 investors in this bank, this is truly a community bank. And that's what we're planning on, is reinvesting in this community, and then as we have opportunities to expand and go into other communities, That's our goal, is truly be a bank that supports the community in which we're in. And we're very appreciative of you folks being here today. This is significant in the fact that we have your support right now. And we thank you for that. It means a lot to us to see all these faces here today. Also, I would like to take the time, and if any of these gentlemen have a word of encouragement or any thoughts they'd like to share with us, they're welcome to come up and speak. But I want to at least recognize and give honor to our elected public servants. First of all, I'd like to introduce Senator Kevin Engler from the Senate District number 3, St. Jens, St. Francis County, and on down south into the foothills of the Ozark. Kevin Engler, our senator.
Congratulations, it's on.
Thank you very much. I'll move this right along. I know what you mean. Yes, yes. I'd also like to recognize our state rep from St. Jen, St. Francis, and Perry County, Representative Steve Tilley. And a representative from St. Jen and Jefferson County, Mr. Joe Fowler. I'd also like to recognize our mayor of this fine community, St. Jen Mayor, Dick Grimminger. We appreciate that. We appreciate the welcome. And our chamber president, who will help us with the ribbon cutting ceremony, and if you'd like to say a few words, Mr. Ron Armbruster.
On behalf of over 300 members of the St. Genevieve Chamber of Commerce, the directors and the officers, I'm happy to have the opportunity to participate in this ribbon cutting ceremony and certainly wish this business the best opportunity and the best going forward. Thank you very much for choosing St. Genevieve.
And with that, we'd like to turn it back to Rich, and we'll get the ceremony conducted.
All right, what we're going to do is I'm going to line up all the MRV Bank directors and employees along here. They should have their scissors. And every one of you, as you cut the ribbon off, you see there's a little souvenir dollar. Keep that for a souvenir of the ribbon cutting. They're passing out the scissors now. We'll have one great big one. And then the chamber board, if you either want to fill in behind or along the edges, wherever we can get you. I think Dina's going to help line us up. And we'll probably do a couple trial runs for the press, and then we'll have the real one. All right? Yes. Mr. Mayor, you mind come on in here? Any of the state officials, if you'd like, come on in. Kevin and Joey and Steve. There's a couple more dollars. We were printing dollar bills all night.
Here, that's not going to work. They're going to put those.
That ain't gonna make it.
Well, with the big ones, photo ops. All right, everybody.
All right, can you guys please move? Joe, start with you. Kind of move in, hug your neighbor, type of thing. Michael, you tell me when you think they're close enough.
Well, I might do it like a second.
Here, back up here just right here.
I know where am I going? No. Come on. Is there a dollar for you? Oh, okay. Okay, right. Oh, here. Right over here. If you want to
Just stand right back. All right, now this is just for the pictures. Look how much dollars those come right here. I'll worry about it later, thanks. Which way do we look?
Okay, we're just going to snap one picture. Do not cut nothing. Everybody ready?
Okay, we ready?
Cheese.
Ready, Nina?
Yes, I think
All right,
we're ready
this,
to go ahead and
this is the real thing now,
This
right?
is the real thing. However,
All right.
those big things that you have do not actually cut there, Rich. Okay, all right.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah! All right.
I can just get another picture of y'all a little closer
All right.
together and kind of cut towards back there a little bit.
We all, one more picture, everybody, if you can kind of squeeze together tight. Come on in.
Get some of these guys on the edge in the back there. Some of you guys over in the back. A little bit more there, thanks.
This was the wrong morning to go with
Chili cheese egg.
Okay, I see everybody. So. Hey, Ron. 2 people over that way. Right there. All right.
Everybody smile.
1, 2, 3. Second time and last time. 1, 2, 3. Sweet, gentlemen. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. What are we down this way? Music. Enjoy. Tell me when. Okay, hi, it's Rich Hannigan from MRV Banks. Want to introduce some of our from our team members. Bernie Bowman's on board of directors. Bob Bartle, one of our directors. Rick, I want to say Rick Saxon. Rick Grifford, Saxony Securities. Terry Hahn is our senior loan officer. Marion Kurtz, he's also on the board of directors. Karen O'Loughlin, just part of our MRV Bank team.
And what have you been doing today?
We've been having our grand opening today. We had our ribbon cutting at 10 o'clock this morning. Had barbecue and fried chicken out here today. Had Ian Fisher playing earlier. We've got our caricaturist going right now, making caricatures of folks. So we just had a great day out here today.
That's great. What are the plans for this site?
Well, ultimately, we're going to be building a new building right on the point out here at Highway 32 and 61. We hope to design or have designed a structure that fits with the French colonial heritage of SteGenTV, and we're working on the preliminary plans for that right now.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Just leave me.
That's where I got a number.
You really believe I can do that?
I don't know. I feel like it's a trick question.
I'll open my account at your bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is her friends and family. I told her I could draw every one of them, and she'd be able to recognize every one of them. Do you recognize them?
Yeah. There's mine. I see mine.
Your grandpa would be proud.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Tell me your name first off.
Cher.
And where are you
Cher
from?
Farber, St. Louis.
You're from St. Louis?
Yes.
And you're going to do my caricature.
Yes, I am.
How did you get started doing caricatures?
It was a way to work my way through art school, and I just liked it enough that I kept doing it.
Just keep doing it. And
Yeah. And what's your name, sir?
Don Pritchard.
Don?
Don. D-O-N.
Okay. And what do you like to do?
Well, I like to do radio, broadcaster, also a TV person, get to do some TV,
Okay.
publish a website. That's hard to draw. And then the ham radio operator. So there's a whole bunch of stuff I get to do. I'll give you a lot of stuff to do.
Okay.
What's the hardest part about doing caricatures?
Sometimes people will ask me to draw things that I haven't memorized. Like a fly or an animal that I haven't drawn. Say someone would ask me to draw an amarillo. An armadillo.
Armadillo, yes.
Yeah, okay. They are an amarillo, but
yeah,
you know what I mean. So, armadillo, and it's been a long time since I've seen one. I can draw a sort of a cartoon version of one, but then I go home and try to figure out how to actually draw one.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. So what's the funnest part about being
Getting to meet all the fantastic people that I get to meet, and getting to go to all the best parties.
Yeah.
Actually, great food, great fun. Talk to people and make fun of people, and I get paid for it.
I see you make the face pretty big.
Yes, my style of caricatures is called Big Head Little Body, and I also, the other part of my style is called Cartoon Portrait, because I think like most caricature artists do. Most caricature artists will exaggerate much more than I do. And my philosophy is to exaggerate the positive rather than the negative.
Well, I thank you very much. I appreciate it.
A lot of caricature artists think that's fun. I like to give people things they like.
So you've been out here at the MRV Bank's ribbon cutting and grand opening ceremony. About how many caricatures can you guess you've done today?
Probably 40.
I understand talking to people who've had their caricatures done that you do pretty quickly. It doesn't take very long at all.
It takes me
I don't know when what day that happened. I must have borrowed either right afterwards or the next morning.
depending on the face.
Well, I tell you, I really envy people who could do it. I've always admired that. In fact, if I did taking art in school, I never could come up with a decent drawing experience. Though I did take mechanical drawing and drafting. I did okay in that. But that's completely different than freehand.
Well, it is needed, but you have to have still an eye for composition to do well with something like that. So that's very much part of art. Maybe you can't draw itself, but you can see what the difference is. It's like photography also.
Sure.
You need the eye for the composition. Yeah. Good job. So it is art. It's definitely art. It's just not drawing.
Get the guy that,
Kind of like framing the picture properly. It's in a setting that will be attractive. So how do you cope with the heat out here drawing?
As long as I'm drawing, I don't think about it. Some people like you bring it up.
It's hot here on the pavement. Of course, you've been in the shade, so that's not too bad.
Yes, there's been a nice breeze, which I very much appreciate.
Have you had a chance to do any famous people?
Yes, a number of Sammy Davis Jr. I have done, let's see, David Hasselhoff, politicians and St. Louis news people.
Sure.
And local politicians and John Tartan. And just, there's a lot of them.
And what are some of the events that you do caricatures at, besides Hanks, Randall?
Parties, picnics, all kinds of conventions. I do a lot of convention stuff.
3 or 4 people.
So, yeah, just about any kind of special event where people are. I find that that the caricatures are extremely popular because it's entertainment. You can
Sure, exactly.
take it home.
Yeah. So how do people find you? In the Yellow Pages under caricatures, or I don't remember there being that section. At least not in my phone book here in St. Genevieve.
I have a website that is you can find it.
It depends on who it comes from.
I love Google. Okie dokie.
And word of mouth, a lot of it I get word of mouth because people like me.
Beautiful. Beautiful. It's a little like Richard Nixon. Which is kind of interesting because my family knew his family in California. There you go, folks. What do you think? Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure meeting you. I'm sorry. You need that drink probably very much. Thank you very much for the caricature, and good luck to you in your work, and hopefully you'll be back in St. Genevieve. You ever come down for Turn Fat or any of those?
I have